Okay, here's how much of a Family Circus fan I was as a kid. I used to ask my mom and dad for black construction paper just so I could put that all over the house.
Yeah, you must have been irritated.
Oh, yeah, in more ways than one.
Yeah.
We are here with Jeff Keane, who is part of one of my favorite comic strips of all time. I'm going to amend that. Not one of my favorites, my all-time favorite cartoon strip of all time, The Family Circus. A strip that's been going since 1962.
No, 60.
1960
Yeah.
To the
I'm
present.
even older than you think.
To the present day, 2025.
That's right.
Now, for those who don't know about The Family Circus, can you tell them what The Family Circus is all about?
Well, it's basically based on our family. My dad started the cartoon in 1960, and when I was 2, what's this little character here, that was me. This is my sister, Gail. My mom called her Dolly as a little girl, and then Billy was a combination of my other 3 brothers and my dad, and there was no PJ. My dad added that to the strip in a couple years in, and we all grew up in Arizona, and that's where he started the cartoon, and he lived there the rest of his life in the same house.
Not only did you start as one of the characters, but you now continue your dad's legacy.
That's right.
Making The Family Circus.
Yeah, I started working with him in 1981, just doing ancillary things, putting together books, doing some of the other, answering mail, and slowly over time he had me start doing penciling, and eventually he said, "Why don't you try inking?" And I said, "Well, I don't really know how to ink." And his regular inker was a guy named Bud Warner who inked with a brush. And so I learned to ink like Bud did with a brush, since I didn't know how to do it anyway. And eventually I started doing the whole thing.
Now, there have been, correct me if I'm wrong, 89 Family Circus books?
That's probably about right. There might be even more than that. There was a little Fawcett books, but then we've done a number of books over the years, so you're probably pretty close.
Yeah, the little digest size books, then you had the treasuries and the collections.
Yeah, and then there's, Family Circus Treasury, Family Circus album, all sorts of ones. Behold the Family Circus, whatever they were. There was many.
Now raise your hand if you had all these books. Right over here, right over here.
I've got them too.
And there were 3 TV specials.
There were. There was the first was a Valentine's special, and I think that was probably 1978 maybe. And then there was a Christmas special and an Easter special. And those were, I think, maybe 81, 82, something like that.
Was there ever a consideration into making The Family Circus a Saturday morning cartoon or more TV specials as you went along?
Yeah, that would have been a great idea. I don't think it ever came to fruition with the right combination of whatever. And yeah, I'd love to do one now if we could.
Yeah.
Well, in 2010, Fox and Walden Media, they announced that there was going to be a live-action Family Circus movie.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 15 years later. We're still waiting.
Yes,
Give us some
so am I.
updates.
Yes, I'm still waiting too. No, that went to a point where they had written some scripts, but it just never got picked up in the sense of making a movie. But that's still an idea that's out there.
Now we're at Comic-Con right now. How many people come on over and say that you wrote or your dad wrote their childhood, and how much adulation is there for Family
That's the
Circus?
great thing about being at Comic-Con is the people coming over and expressing how much joy the Family Circus brought to them. And they'll have tears in their eyes, and to me that's just such a legacy for my dad. That he and my mom created something that has been so meaningful to so many people. It's it's really heartwarming for me.
So you were saying that each of the kids really were your brothers and sisters, but they weren't really Billy, Dolly, and PJ.
No, the only one who was named was me, because clearly I was the favorite. But it was Jeffy was me, and Dolly was my sister, Gail. But Gail was the oldest, as opposed to being in the middle. and then PJ was added after.
And then in the comic, it's always been Billy who was the oldest.
And Billy, yes. Because to me, Billy was sort of my dad as a little boy, and then my older brothers as a little boy, because my dad, when he was young, was blonde-haired and was more like that. And so that's how I always looked at it.
And your older brother is Glenn, who is a Disney animator.
Right, and Glenn is also very much like Billy in his energy.
As a kid, I wanted to be Billy, and I would always comb my hair forward to get this.
And did you give yourself a cowlick in the back?
It was already there. It was already there. And then when my mom would say, "Who broke this?" Not me.
Not me.
Not me.
That's right, not me.
Oh, a little gremlin right over there.
Not me, or I don't know, or nobody.
Well, another one of my favorite strips is Billy as he goes along the whole neighborhood, or all the kids, and you would see the little dotted lines.
Yep, those are
right over here.
Very complicated to draw. They take a lot of time, but yeah, that's something that most people who are Family Circus readers always mention as being something they loved as a kid.
Do you ever redo those? Like you start one
Sure.
and that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it takes a long time and sometimes you mess up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have in some ways it's the same basic gag each time, but you've got to find a different circumstance to do it.
Okay, here's how much of a Family Circus fan I was as a kid. I used to ask my mom and dad for black construction paper just so I could put that all over the house.
Boy,
Hey,
you must have been irritated.
In more ways than one.
Yeah.
Now, if Jeffy were here at Comic-Con, the alter ego Jeffy, where would he go? If Jeffrey was right here,
he would go right here because the most important booth is the National Cartoonist Society booth, where you get the artists or well-known cartoonists and illustrators all join the NCS.
Now, do you ever go back to the original strips and redo them with a 2025 slant?
Absolutely. Yes, because the way I view the families is the things around them change, but their feelings and the way they speak to each other doesn't really change. And so you can make a typewriter into a computer, or the phone is now a cell phone, but the idea and the concepts are all still the same. So you can change the surroundings and still have the same ideas.
Yeah. What is the most popular one that fans will come over and want to buy?
There really is. It depends on whether you're looking for something that's funny or something that's more sentimental, or the one cartoon that is the most is the yesterday's the past, tomorrow's the future. But today's a gift. That's why it's called the present. That quote is attributed to my dad. If you ever look up quotes, and that's probably the most prescient of the cartoons that he's done, because I think in some ways that sums up the philosophy of Family Circus. You got to look for the joy in the everyday life.
We're hungry. I am too. Let's all go to Burger Chef.
All right, now to wrap it up, can you name your favorite Family Circus comic?
My family, individual
circle strip.
No, it's impossible. It's impossible because every cartoon to me, I see my mom and dad, or I see my brothers and sisters, and so each one is special every time I read it.
Well, thank you so very, very much.
Yeah,
Been wanting to do this for 50 years now. And now you get a whole line of customers here.
Good.
All right, bye-bye, Thank you.
Hey, names to the left, they are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.